kind of whiskey do you have, Mike?
This is intense. It's tequila.
Or not
tonight.
whiskey, tequila.
Yes,
Tequila.
I was telling him I was like, I give him a pour of tequila. That's what this guy's been drinking.
It's Trader Jose's. So
okay.
It's the house brand from Trader Joe's.
From Trader Joe's. God, those creative bastards.
I know. And maybe a little racist, but that's fine.
And if anyone thinks we're not recording, we are.
That's fine.
And welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks. And I'm going to jump in. Like, I'm keeping our banter about Trader Joe's totally in. We are a podcast about obscure and sometimes forgotten about or overlooked films. And as always, I am Paul. Next to me is Mike. And today is joining us is our guest, Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy?
Hi, guys. How is everybody doing out there?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, just talking about Trader Joe's and,
Yeah. I don't shop at Trader Joe's.
Because of racism?
Well, no. It's just an odd place for me. I walk in there, I'm like, there's 3 aisles. Like, this is a grocery store. Like, I'm leaving now. But they do have, and the biggest section is their alcohol section.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, we in Colorado did not get access fully to that until somewhat recently. We have one on Colorado Boulevard that does have a side liquor store, but only recently through laws are we now able to have beer in grocery stores. We were able to have, like,
God.
It was only like one per county was able to do it. So it was like you had like a Target in one area, only one Target could do it, and then others couldn't. It's the laws are just really weird.
Yeah, it is really
weird. I still don't understand them, or I don't fully know where I could buy liquor. Yeah. I mean, outside of a liquor store, which has everything, I don't know where I could always go to get stuff.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, in my neck of the woods, you can get anything you want at a gas station.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, anything.
That's how it should be.
It's there
That
for
is
you.
how it should be. That is how it should be. Actually, Jeremy is broadcasting from Missouri, and I believe when I first moved and lived in Missouri, the law was like super weird on Sundays. It was like, whoa, like
that's
past,
gone now.
it was like, I remember that because like people were like rejoicing. It was something like past noon on a Sunday or something, or like 2 p.m. It was like, shut it down. And people were like, what difference does it make? And they're like, oh, it makes a difference.
Well, I mean, it's only within the past, 15 years, maybe even less, that you can buy anything, any booze in Denver on a Sunday. You used to not be able to.
Yeah, that is correct. Like that, we used to just shut it down. It's always funny because then there's always like, next on Fox News, like local heroes selling like booze out of garage for Super Bowl Sunday. And the cops are like, come on, man. Like, don't.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like no one cares. Yeah. Welcome to the laws of the land.
Yeah. We're going to break the laws with today's movie.
Yeah. Today, this all starts with Mike here. Mike's not seen of this film. We are looking at Vice Versa from 1988, and you will feel the 1988-ness of this movie all over your face at all points in time. But Mike at one point in time said, hey, I've never seen this film. I'm like, with Fred Savage and the Judge Reinhold? And he
The
said,
Judge.
And he said no.
I hadn't.
And I said, hey, Jeremy, you want to do a body swap film with Judge Reinhold and Fred Savage? And Jeremy said, maybe. and look where we're at now.
Look what happened.
Yeah. Any other notable body swap films from anyone here?
Yeah. There was a lot. So first of all, Vice Versa is from way back in the day, like way back in the day.
Yeah, late 1800s.
This is actually a remake of some silent film or something like that. But yeah, they had 18 again, like Father Like Son, and then the big moneymaker of the time was Big, which wasn't really a body swap film, but it kind of was.
Yeah.
It kind of was.
Yeah, totally.
But so yeah, that was all 87, 88. 89, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, there were so many body swap movies out here. This movie's really no different. And to read the IMDb synopsis, divorced executive Marshall and his 11-year-old son Charlie casually touch a magical Tibetan skull, releasing a mysterious power that transfers Marshall's mind to Charlie's body and vice versa.
Ooh.
Their problems have just begun.
Wow.
And I don't want to jump the gun on this, but yes, father and son touch this Tibetan skull and they trade bodies. And everyone is a dum-dum here because the crux of the film is how do we change back? And no one thinks, remember the time we both touched the skull? They do not. They do not.
Yeah.
They do not think of those times.
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, this was based on a book from like the late 19th century.
Yeah.
So that this could be like the OG, even though it wasn't the first of the body swap movies, because it has that source material street cred.
I wonder what the reception of this book and this concept was. I think people would be like, this is great. Burn him at the stake. What is this heretic?
It's a witch.
I know, like, body swap. Where did you get this idea? It came to me in a dream. I bet it did. The devil's dream.
Yeah.
I hate the devil's dream.
And this is definitely an 80s movie. You're going to find out when we get into the mall. The mall is a big central theme to this movie.
I love the mall.
I love 80s malls. Love them. I love I mean, we grew up on malls. It was our clique. And this is dedicated to that.
Jeremy and I have known each other since 7th grade. So that puts us at 12 to 13 years old. Jeremy and I basically, I feel the parenting of the time was drop people like Paul and Jeremy off at a mall, which also contained a movie theater, give them enough money to probably get a lunch and or light dinner, and then just they see a movie. And our parents were like, hell yeah, like, bye.
Yeah.
Like, don't cause too much trouble. Like, if I get a phone call, I'm going to be pissed. And honestly, sometimes I got phone calls.
We had an area, like people have people as babysitters. We had a location as a babysitter.
Yeah. And we disrespected it left and right.
Yes, we did.
As kids would.
We did.
I would expect nothing less.
The Chesterfield Mall security, they had their work cut out for us. Or for them. Because of us, I should say. They were times to be had.
Yeah.
And I would have seen movies like this at that point in time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't have malls where I was growing up, so I just go to the mall a lot now.
Do you really go to the mall a lot now?
Kind of, yeah.
Like the Cherry Creek Mall?
Yeah.
What do you do there?
Just walk around. Go to Sbarro.
Getting like a pretzel?
I don't think they're opening up an Auntie Annie's, which I'm pretty excited about.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well,
Jeremy, have you ever been to Cherry Creek Mall?
I have not. No.
It's really weird, and I asked this because there's often like a top 10 things to do in Colorado, and visit Cherry Creek Mall is almost always on it, and it blows my mind.
So what's going on there? Is it just like your typical mall? I mean, there's nothing special going on.
It is a super affluent mall.
yeah,
like,
it's pretty bougie.
But the thing is,
Okay.
like, but there's not like a lot going on. So like the stores, as Mike is noting, is like they're super bougie, but there's not like main attractions. There's not like, it's not like Mall of America. Like there's like a destination or a thing to do or like a specific.
There's not like a roller coaster.
There's not an amusement park in the Cherry
It's just
Creek
like
Mall.
it's like we have like the flagship Urban Outfitters of like Colorado and like the surrounding areas. Like it's like go there and then go to like Restoration Hardware. And you're like, all right.
I got a nice movie theater with a restaurant in it.
There is like a movie theater in there. That's like my secret movie theater because I feel no one goes there.
Oh yeah, no one ever goes there.
It's a drug front.
When we saw Cocaine Bear there a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did you guys see that?
It was great.
Oh.
I loved it. But yeah, like they bring you the food in the theater. The food's not bad. There was no one else in there but us. It was great.
That's the AMC I went on Colorado Boulevard to see John Wick. My wife and I went to there. And we also got our food delivered. It was great.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. Here's all your food. I was like, awesome.
Do you like order the food ahead of time when you buy your tickets?
Yeah, and then they try to highlight like, when will you be there? And if you're not there, we'll wait 15 more minutes. And then if you're not there, you need to see us.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I was there, and they handed me food. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would go to the movies like if I need a pair of socks or something. It just it's like a couple block walk from our house, so it's just
Oh, dude, if a mall was 2 blocks from my house, I would be there every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. It's just like I want to get out of the house. What do you want to do? Let's go walk around the mall, like old people in the morning. It's my exercise. Just mall walk.
Oh my god! Like, do you do like that little like hip shuffle? Like,
yeah, I have like I have
motion?
sand-filled weights that I put around my ankles and wrists.
He walks to the beat of the Bee Gees.
Yeah, I have a tape deck. I have a Walkman.
Hey, Ernie.
That I got at Urban
Morning.
Outfitters.
Getting a cup of Joe. You know my wife doesn't like that. Ernie.
Big Ern.
Oh my god! Wow, we have aged, aged poorly. If that's, I don't want to be a part of this. I am not. I have not aged poorly. You're all crazy. I've aged poorly in different ways. Wow. Okay. Well, we're in it. So
We're down the rabbit hole.
big thing I want to note. Shout out to Chicago, where I was born.
Oh yeah.
Hello, everyone and family. Probably my favorite parts of all of this is aerial shots of Chicago. You're like, yay! Like, it's good to see Chicago.
This was made. All of this was filmed in Chicago and the surrounding suburbs, except for the part in Thailand, I believe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to see. 80s Chicago. It was a young time, a thriving time, less crime time. I would assume. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. What's going on there. But yeah, we're in Chicago, and it's very quickly seen that we have the Judge Reinhold. He's a very well-respected man, much like a King song. Walking through a store, everyone's saying hi. What is his name? Marshall?
I don't know.
Mike,
We did.
I don't know what his name is.
We did not discuss the opening scene though.
Yeah,
The opening scene
it opens
in the Far
Thailand,
East.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I totally just missed that. Yeah, sorry. I had a scribbled out note and I just jumped into Chicago. So yes, we are in Thailand. And there are a bunch of monks and they are worshiping a statue. And then I think they take a 10-minute smoke break and they all walk out and a bunch of monk thieves take this weird skull and they run off and they jump into a river. And now the skull is gone. And I think you're left to be like, what the hell was that? Now we're in Chicago. I think I had a side note about a character. I crossed it out. Now we're in Chicago, and then we meet Marshall, who is Judge Reinhold, a well-respected man. Hello, Marshall. Hello, Mr. Marshall. Hello, whatever his name is. That's how everyone greets him. And then we get a very vice versa moment where we're at home with Charlie, who is played by Fred Savage, who is getting dressed by mom, and she's like, we're going to be late. We need to get out of the house. What is mom's name? What is his last name?
I don't know. Malcolm in the Middle's mom.
Jane, like Charismaric.
Sure.
Cal's Merrick. I can't read my own writing. That's Malcolm in the Middle's mom. And that's kind of where we're at. And then Sam and Marshall go. So we were introduced to Sam, who is the love interest of Marshall. Sorry, I'm laughing at my own notes. I just wrote Sam plus Marshall. Well. That's it. That's all I wrote.
Sam's the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
like her.
she's banging. She's cute.
Yeah, no, she's great.
Yeah.
That's I don't know if this resonates with anyone. That's Veronica Mars's mom in the show. Big Veronica Mars fan.
Okay.
I mean, I know Veronica Mars.
Yeah, that's her mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this from the get-go. A couple things. Yeah, I think this actress is super cute. She's very compassionate. She's very nice. She's like very like down to be like, oh, let's have a good time. And I don't mean that in a weird way. It's like, let's get a drink at a restaurant. Let's go to a rock show. Like, what are you into? Like, just really cool. Like all throughout. So I know she is super cool all throughout. Which is my vice versa moment is, why the hell does anyone like Judge Reinhold in this movie? He seems like a huge ass. Like he is just an ass to everyone.
He does seem like a pretty big ass.
So like, why is this woman with this dink?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he peaked like I said, I was telling Mike, he peaked with Beverly Hills Cop. All right?
Totally.
Absolutely.
He's on the downslide now.
Yeah.
I think if you've watched Arrested Development, where it's Judge Reinhold's court, I think he did revive his career for one moment just for that.
Yes.
But yeah, like I kind of make note all throughout. Like this guy's kind of a jerk at the office, so that's kind of his job, and I get it, to be jerk amongst these jerks. Not everyone's like that, but kind of his level of employee that they're all going for the same job. They're kind of jerks to one another. All right. But then he's a jerk to Sam. He's a jerk to his son. He's a jerk to his ex-wife. This guy sucks. Yeah. Take that, Judge Reinhold. Take it.
Maybe he's.
And is that how malls worked in the 80s? Like, did they have all of the management structure were in the actual mall?
Like, yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Like, I want to make a return. Like, oh, I'm going to need to see a manager. I want to see a CEO. Like, oh, well.
Yeah, he's here too.
Yeah, he's upstairs, I guess.
Yeah, he's doing God knows what in his carpeted office where everyone's chain smoking, which probably smells like, my grandmother's handbag. So, boom.
Yeah. It probably does.
I don't want that smell.
No, maybe like some malls are in like the ground floor of like bigger buildings, right?
Yeah, actually, fun enough. This was filmed, I think it said numerous locations. I think that was part of the trivia I saw on IMDb. But The water tower is like downtown Chicago is a series of floors up and down. I mean, I would assume like 14, 15. There's like food courts, but like specific things. It's like kind of cool, like the structure of it. But yeah, I have no idea.
I mean, I guess in that case, it wouldn't really surprise me if there was, managerial offices in that same building.
I don't know. I mean, I think we're coming at a perspective like, man, I could probably do like 14 of those employees' jobs on my phone within the day.
Oh, yeah. We don't need them anymore.
Like spreadsheets, like you're doing this by hand. Like, get out. You have a team doing this? Get out of here. Mm-hmm. Like, I have a free app. I'm not even going to upgrade.
No.
Unless the company pays that 99 cents.
They will.
They won't. I'm holding out.
You got to expense it.
Yeah, okay. So we're there. So there's a couple things going on. So there is a children's concert going on, and Fred Savage, the rock god drummer that he is part of a concert. And Marshall, the father, is running very, very late too. The mom is very put off by this, and Marshall eventually gets there, to the aghast of his son and his ex-wife, that he is very late. And that's the father that he is building up in the background.
Maybe he just doesn't like his ex-wife, because I didn't.
Yeah, no.
She kind of, I mean, I don't blame him. He's an executive. He's got all this money. He's banging that cute girl. And then he has to deal with like his wiener son and his bitchy ass ex-wife.
I just noted that his son is not a good drummer.
No, his son is not a good drummer. Yeah, I would be put off that I'd had to go to that as well. Like, I gotta put down my sweet life and my sweet apartment to go watch this shitty concert.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, we'll see the apartment later, but it is nice.
Yeah.
That apartment is nice, damn it. Yeah. What's going on with that?
And his office is nice.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
I don't know.
These are the little things. I was like, that guy's got his own sink in his office. Like, I don't even know what I'd do with that, but I was like, maybe I'd wash my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'd wash them a lot more. I don't know. Never had a private sink.
Yeah.
Imagine we had a sink among us right now.
I'd be washing my coffee cup out in there. Not if it was here, but if I had one in my office.
Golf balls, if you're into golf, we could just like do that.
Washing the golf balls?
Yeah.
Just washing the balls.
It's right here. Like, Rabbit Troop Sucks multitasks.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all we really got. And then we got like a really quick cut to Thailand.
Yeah, there were a lot of weird quick cuts at the beginning of this.
Yeah, so it's this is who we got. We have Judge Reinhold, who's very well respected, hardworking, but overworking. That's really the problem. That yes, Judge Reinhold might be up against these other corporate, I don't know, jerk offs, but he's still
those three wiener guys that are always
those three wiener guys or weasels.
The bros.
Yeah.
I call them the bros.
They are the bros. I've definitely worked other jobs where I've worked with people like that. I'm like, oh my God. So I do feel that kind of exists, but this guy's got still a little bit of a heart of gold, but we're going to have to go mining for it a little bit. And that's the trick of this movie. So we're in Thailand, and he is a representative of this, department store, and he's trying to pick up a new line of Asian Thailand, kind of like everything. I want to say, I was going to say gear, but he noted like it's swimsuits, it's parasols, it's like glassware, kitchenware.
This whole South China Sea aesthetic that they're going for.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like there's like Pier 1 imports. This is the late 80s. Like this all would probably make sense. And he's like, I'm going to buy all these things. And then we get this Weasley guy lurking around. Was it Turk?
Turk.
Yeah.
Who's Turk?
The Turkster.
Turk's the like Weasley boyfriend trying to get the statue.
Oh, so I only know him. He's the wrong man from Four Rooms.
David Preval.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote lurking around statue business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also because this movie is in the 80s and is in Asia, what fucking Lopan is in it because he's in every goddamn movie.
The guy, Big Trouble, Little China guy.
Yeah. James Hong?
James Hong, yeah.
And here are my notes. James Hong in everything, exclamation point.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I love that guy.
No, he's great.
Like I honestly feel like when that guy dies, people are gonna be like, "Oh my God!" And if you look him up, he has been in like 100.
No,
things.
he's in
It's
everything.
crazy.
Oh yeah,
And he's like
in
a
everything.
million years old and he's still alive, I think.
You gotta live.
Yeah.
You gotta live to be in movies like this.
Like you gotta wonder, does like a guy that's that old, that's been in as many things as he had, like does he have to audition anymore, or are they just like, we need James, we need to get this guy in here for this part right here? They just call him up.
I think it's just that they're like, we need an old Asian guy. Like they just have a button. It's like just.
I'm gonna hashtag James Hong button.
Oh wow.
chainsaw button.
You can hashtag it, but don't Google search it.
Yeah, definitely don't Google search that. Yeah, that guy is in everything. Shout out to Lopan Lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I noticed that Marshall's also just a buffoon. That there's a scene where he walks across like 40 women dancing. He's like, "Oh,
yeah."
He
comes out of the back of the stage like, I was going to the bathroom. Got a lot. Like who would do that?
There's a lot of things that he's like, "Oh, I was in the bathroom." She's like, "You're gone for 30 minutes," and he's like, "Enough business." I was like, "What is happening?" Like, what?
Yeah, he's kind of a dingus.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. So the trivia we read on this movie for Judge Reinhold, I thought was pretty funny. I'm gonna highlight that when we start getting into the groove of this film, that Fred Savage upstages Judge Reinhold every which way. And the first piece of trivia on IMDb was Judge Reinhold attributed this film, which was a box office flop, as being the decline of his career, combined with a reputation for being difficult to work with. Reinhold said, quote, "That's when the phone stopped ringing. He moved out of Los Angeles to a small town near Santa Fe, New Mexico to regroup his life." It's amazing. And accurate. I don't know if that's
New
accurate.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Now I know. I know where to begin my stalking career.
What if we all body swapped with Judge Reinhold? That'd be a kind of
We'd be enjoying the intricacies of New Mexico, I guess.
Yeah, would we wearing like turquoise necklaces?
We'd all have turquoise jewelry.
Nice.
He's just watching constant reruns of Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
I don't know why, but I imagine him just eating like a big bowl of pudding, like a comical, like cartoon sized bowl of just pudding in a corner, like mumbling to himself, like, "Yeah, I'm the judge.
My name's Judge.
I'm Judge. Everyone loves me as Judge."
Yeah.
Well, outside his buffoonery, they make deals to buy a bunch of tchotchkes and etc. that will be sold, and they go back and everything's wonderful. But Turk, who's been lurking around David Preval, is making side deals with smugglers to get this skull out, and he's going to ship it with these huge containers of all these things that Judge Reinhold and his girlfriend Sam just bought. And that's where part of the crux begins, that the skull that has been stolen is accidentally being shipped to the Windy City of Chicago.
Right. So they're like in the boardroom or whatever, and the judge is demonstrating his finds to the CEO, who is some crappy old guy.
If I ever had like a position where that was my boss, that was the CEO, I would kill that person. I think we could all disagree.
And this old man, the CEO, is just the most incompetent human being ever. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, he's like incompetent. He's belittling everyone.
He has no idea what he's doing.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, like the power dynamic is like super off in this movie. There's a boardroom of like 45 people. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, clearly, I'm sure this is how things were run in corporations in the past, but if this is still how things are being run in like most corporations, that's insane.
That's how we do it.
Are you?
No, we just get around a big table and argue with each other.
Oh, a Rabbit Troop Stuck style?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
that's how the movie selection process goes.
Pretty much.
It's like a spin the bottle of just like, what are we going to do? And then you drink the bottle, and then you pick a movie, and then you spin it again. And then you keep drinking the bottle. It's it's win-win.
Never put that bottle down. During his demonstration, like a zesty Polaroid of I don't know what, like Judge and that chick banging or something sneaks out, and it gets passed around, and everyone's kind of clowning on him for it. I don't know what that Polaroid was.
It was just him at the dinner table with Sam, and the Turk guy. Turk took the picture of him.
Yeah,
and that'll actually come back later on in the movie.
Right.
With and that's the other thing. So at some point in time, we have Judge and Fred, or Charlie and Murphy, and they're gonna swap bodies, and we're gonna get real confused. Like, we need to do like a little Murphy, big Fred, or big Charlie. You know,
that's funny that you're saying that, Jeremy, because I was then retaking notes. I was like, this makes sense to me, but now I'm just like, I'm referencing a shell of a person, but not who they are. So, when we start referencing people, it's going to get kind of weird. Now, Not as weird as a man and a boy getting nude and weird as the body swap goes, but
That was really weird.
yeah, it is really weird. It is really
I have that
weird.
in my notes.
Yeah,
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, we're getting there close or soon. Yeah, so the Turk and this woman Tina. So we recently watched Wildcats. We're back with Swoozie. Swoozie, who is Tina, is like, oh my god, like we're gonna get the statue, but it was sent to Chicago, and we'll figure all this crap out. And then we get a quick cut, and we're in the classroom, and we see Charlie's life. We kind of see the back-to-back hell, like. This is Judge Reinhold's, crazy work life. This is Charlie's crazy school life. But admittedly, every time I see Judge Reinhold, he's not doing anything. So they're trying to show, like, this is his crazy life. I'm like, going to Thailand and answering a phone call?
Right.
Like, okay. I'm like, sign me up for that. Charlie has homework, and he's clearly getting bullied in areas. There's, like, a lot of problems. Judge Reinhold's like, again, like, I sell pots. I don't know.
So I have, like, Charlie is 11 years old. He's in school with his peers, who I'm assuming are also 11, 12 years old. And one of them is a professional street scalper of tickets.
Yes.
Yeah. What? Hey, man, how are you going to get your Malice tickets?
Yeah.
Malice, is that an Agatha Christie play?
It is. Yeah, who was that guy? I don't know. I don't know who that guy was. Honestly, if it was that guy, he didn't go to our school, but I do have fond memories of Jeremy and I. I remember my brother, Lamar, who is not here, who is often our guest, would also listen to this with me. When Jeremy and I were in junior high, my brother had a CD copy that I transferred to cassette tape of Tube Bar. If you remember this, the prank phone calls where like people would call the bar. And Jeremy and I, like in junior high, you would have to like go and like sit at like a lunch table for 20 minutes and do nothing. I know like now kids like get served lunch and stuff like that. But when Jeremy and I went to school, it's just like you're at school, you sit there and you shut the hell up and you do nothing. Yeah. So we would just like each pick up like an earphone and just listen to like Tube Bar like as 12 and 13-year-olds for like 25 minutes, and that's how we would start our morning. So it was pretty good. Education well served. Public education. Good job.
Hey, it did us right. It did us right.
You expanded my vocabulary in ways that even a test couldn't prove. That's all I got.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got kind of where we're going. So okay, now we have Marshall, Judge Reinhold. He has to go pick Charlie up, and I was like, wait a minute, is this a Christmas movie?
It is
kind of.
Well, yeah, it's at Christmas.
Like they allude to it. It's a wide Christmas.
There's a Christmas tree.
The long Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's where we get. So we meet Cliff, the new dad. I am guessing they're married. They kind of act like they're married. So that's Charlie's stepdad. And he picks him up. He seems like a cool dude. He actually does a really cool, nice things throughout the film, even though he's like a forgotten thought of a character.
Well, he is. And he's an important character at the very end when you find out, oh, Cliff's a goddamn detective. He's a police detective.
Right. And really nice dude, thank God. Thank God. Yeah, so Marshall drives and goes back to this dope apartment that we already alluded to that Marshall lives in a really nice place. It's huge.
It's pimp.
Yeah, it's like a 4-bedroom mansion.
Yeah. You go out on the date, you bring your girl back to this place, and it's on.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that's the only reason he got the babe from earlier. She saw the apartment. It's like, I'll put up with this.
Yeah, like maybe I'll kill you, and then I just move in, and I'll put up a Christmas tree.
He's playing the long con,
which Charlie loves. A tree. He's like, oh yeah, I got you a tree. Well, Sam got the tree. It's like his really defeated dope voice. Yeah, Sam got the tree, and then Charlie's into like, oh, even though the tree looks dope too.
Yeah, tree's really nice.
Who cares?
Yeah. But yeah, so they're kind of arguing about what they're going to do. Fred Savage wants to go see a rock show.
Malice,
yeah. Is that an Agatha Christie play?
It is.
No, Dad. He brought his pet frog. I don't remember what the frog's name was. Mo. Yeah. Savage is not, or whatever. Judge Reinhold is not stoked about Mo. They're at odds here. They're not having a great time.
I don't know why I worded it like this.
Okay, let's read it.
But when I was talking about the tree, like, and Charlie finds out that, like, oh, Sam got it. I just wrote, another constant disappointment. Super serious business with that tree.
Yeah. Well, Judge isn't here to impress that fucking kid. He doesn't care.
No, Judge is not there to impress him at all.
No.
At all. He seems well connected.
Yeah.
Why is he not trying to impress him?
I don't know.
Okay.
But they don't really waste a lot of time before they trade places.
No, they get back from dinner. There's a frog
situation.
They
go to dinner.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
The frog gets loose in dinner.
Yeah.
And then they come back.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Reinhold, carrying this golden statue.
Of a skull. It's a gold skull. With a real human skull with like a gold jaw.
Right. But it's like...
And nobody finds this interesting.
It's upside down. Like when it's sitting on a table, the skull's upside down and there's like shit on top of it.
Right. And it looks super weird. As Jeremy's noting, I wouldn't just be waving this thing around. Like, I don't know what the hell this is.
Right. Like, at first I thought it was like one of those big, not Cadbury egg. What are the big bejeweled, like, Russian eggs?
Oh, the
nesting dolls?
I know what you're talking about.
No, not a nesting doll.
The nesting dolls?
No,
Fabergé egg.
Fabergé egg, yeah. At first I thought it was like a Fabergé egg because it was like this big egg-shaped thing with this fucking crown on top of it. But, whatever. So they're fucking around with this thing.
And both touching it. It's super obvious.
Yeah, obvious. Well, and I don't remember what they're arguing about, but Fred Savage says, "Stop dumping on me, Dad."
I wrote that as a hashtag. Stop
Hashtag
dumping
on me.
Another thing to not Google.
This whole movie the whole lesson of this movie is empathy. Like, neither one of them have empathy for the other one. This skull's going to fix that fucking problem real quick.
With this dialogue, too. I wish I could change places with you, says Charlie. I wish I could too, says Marshall, as they both hold the skull. Listen, okay, imagine any of us are holding the skull in the room right now, and we trade bodies. Okay. I bet I would remember what I just said and what we were doing in the last couple minutes. I bet I'd remember real quick. Because again, they're like, how do we figure it out? Because there's times where now Marshall, who is in Charlie's body... is holding the skull, being like, "I wish we could go back. I wish we could do it. It's not working." I'm like, "Dude, you were both holding it. Come on."
That was so. Yeah,
I'm going to allude to, like, these guys just switch bodies with one another. They are just like, "Holy shit, this kind of sucks." And then I don't know, the body switching playbook. Rule number 1 is like, just go amongst your life as if nothing had happened.
Right.
Just do that. And that's what the rest of the movie basically is. Like, okay, we switch bodies. Let's just live our lives as if we're switched bodies now. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. And nobody freaks out. I would be, if I switch bodies with Cole, like with somebody that was my son, then I would freak out. There would be weird. 30 minutes of me losing my goddamn mind. And these guys are just like, all right, let's just, shit happened. Let's do this. Yeah, let's get this going.
One, immediately everyone needs to call in sick. Like, just you're not going in.
Yeah, take a personal day.
Yeah, whatever's happening, just be like, Marshall.
Take a personal.
Right, Marshall, his entity himself, who is now in Charlie's body, he should have been like, because the crux for him is, but I have to go in. It's my job. These other weasels are trying to get it. Like, I need to prove my job. Be like, I just got back from Thailand. I have some weird flu. No one's going to question it. Just like take a couple days.
Exactly.
Sending Charlie's body, who Marshall is, to school. Also, you don't need to do it. Your kid's sick. Just take a couple days off. Figure this crap out. Like that. That's crazy. Why? Yeah. Why are you going to work in school? Why are you doing this?
Yeah. I've got Corona 88. All right. Let's go.
Right. Well, and like that was kind of one of the most frustrating things about this movie for me is like there was no, I mean, at the end they did like come to conclusions and we're better off for it, but like there was no reason that they couldn't just switch back right away.
Hey, stop dumping, Mike.
Like, they were too fucking stupid to figure it out. Well, like, I mean, in other movies, like you have to come to some realization first, or in like what was the Jason Bateman one where him and what's his name pee in a fountain.
Oh yeah.
Where like they don't trade places until they wake up the next morning, and then they can't find the fountain. So there's like some kind of built-in device to keep them from switching back right away. But in this, the only device keeping them from switching back right away is that they're both fucking morons.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't know you were both touching it. Like,
right,
like,
yeah.
like, okay, maybe you were perplexed for, as Jeremy noting, like your mental breakdown. Then you regroup. And you're like, oh yeah, we were touching the skull. So maybe we should give that a whirl.
And,
right. Fucking Dream a Little Dream came out 2 years before this. Hadn't they seen it? Can they not piece this together?
No.
And Judge Reinhold, he gets a pass. He plays a fantastic idiot.
Yeah.
But Fred Savage, we expected better of you, buddy.
Yeah.
We really did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
I really like the scene where it shows them switching bodies.
That's where it gets really weird.
Well, like there's no special effects. It was like Austin Powers doing the elevator gag, where it was just like you see their head like going down beneath the camera, like he's shrinking, but he's not.
But and clearly we all know they're gonna switch back, and when they do, extra weird.
That's
the extra weird.
You'll wear my pajamas, Dad.
Like, we gotta change clothes. Take off your clothes and touch the skull.
touch the skull.
That's not what you want to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, so to support all this, as they're talking through it, they're like, maybe this happened all across America. Like, yeah, that's exactly what happened, you fucking dope.
Yeah.
And then Judge says, maybe I shouldn't have taken all that Valium, which is probably also true, but definitely not the cause.
Well, and we'll get to this later, but my favorite part of this whole movie is just Fred Savage. Apparently Judge Reinhold wasn't, like Marshall was an alcoholic, because there's a lot of drinking in this movie.
Oh, Fred Savage with the martini? Yeah.
Not just one. And that's another bananas thing. Like, okay, Fred Savage, yes, he is inhabited by Judge Reinhold. So technically Judge Reinhold is, I think he says like 36 or 7 in this film. And Fred Savage is still a young boy. So you would put all that alcohol in your son's body just to like pleasure you getting kind of drunk? And the answer is yes, you would if you were Judge Reinhold and a total dickhead. Yeah. What the hell? Yeah, that's crazy. So then the next scene is we get Billy Idol's montage, singing Moni Moni, and a little montage of some morning routines. This is how I best remember this film. This is how I think it was in the coming attractions, the trailers, that Moni Moni was playing. It was like, Fred Savage is in a film with Judge Reinhold and things are changing. Moni Moni. Like, what's going to happen this summer? Do you remember this preview at all? Does this ring any bells for you, Jeremy?
No, I don't remember like the previews or any trailers. And sometimes like when you guys do movies, I will watch like trailers for the movies, but I didn't on this one. But yeah, I mean, like I said, these guys are idiots. Like you don't, you take a personal day, take a personal week.
Right,
you come back from Thailand and you're like, my guts are bad.
Right.
They'll give you a week. Anybody would.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sorry, I just vomited blood, like, for the company. Like, yeah.
But
like,
no.
Like, even those
No,
goody
they're not gonna do
weasels
that.
are probably going to call it off, like, yeah, that guy's, like, dying. Like, if he dies, I'm taking his job. That would be the joke.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, listen, an 11-year-old kid, he can do my job. Send him into work. I'm going to go take your tests. It's going to be good. We're going to be fine. There's no problems that could ever come of this.
Yeah.
There are a lot of problems that come of this.
Just a couple. And we run into a couple of those pretty quickly.
When?
Because right now.
Right now.
Like when? Tell us what.
Tell
us a problem, Mike.
When little Judge is going to school.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Is he's carpooling with someone who calls him a raccoon turd for some reason?
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Keep up with your slang. Totally. Total raccoon turd.
Do you know who that was?
That was one of his classmates.
No. Do you know who the actor is?
No.
It's Samir from Samir Not Gonna Work Here Anymore from Office Space.
Oh, crap.
Oh.
And also the guy that tries to butt fuck Santa in Bad Santa. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike watches a lot of different films than I do.
Come on.
Well, I've seen Bad Santa and I've watched The Office. But he wasn't like a main character though. It was like a throwaway character for comedic effect.
In Bad Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bad Santa comes out of a bar, and this guy's standing there by his car. He's like, "I'm not gay." He's Indian. I'm not just doing a weird accent. And he tries to like butt fuck Santa, but then the kid saves him. And yeah, in Office Space, he's one of the main characters. And he's a dick in this movie for some reason.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
There you go. That's my trivia for you guys.
I like that trivia.
Yeah. But then on the flip side, we have Big Fred. Is that what are we calling?
Yeah, so Little Judge and Big Fred. That's what I have in my notes as well.
Little Judge, Big Fred.
Okay, so Big Fred is now in the department store, and he's fucking wilding out. He's having a great time. He's shooting crossbows. Yeah.
And this department store is the fucking killer department store, dude. They have fucking open crossbows with darts loaded in them.
And a spy department, apparently.
Love
the Bond section.
The salesman's reaction to Judge Reinhold loading up and shooting the crossbow. He's like, "Hey, Mr. Marshall," like very polite. And then the crossbow is shot, shoots a mannequin's head off. The mannequin
and
falls
takes out
down.
a Christmas tree.
Yeah, takes out a Christmas tree and lights. And the salesman looks at Judge Reinhold. Judge Reinhold, who is now clearly Fred Savage, picks up his briefcase and just books it and just runs. And the guy's reaction is so filled with bewilderment. Like, oh my God, did this guy just take off? I took a couple pictures of that guy's face.
He was really excited. That was his best day at work.
Yeah.
And his worst.
Yeah.
I envisioned like the Foo Fighters My Hero song playing over that guy's reaction. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he just runs.
Yeah, he does run. Well, he runs upstairs to his office, and he runs into his babe friend and the three wiener crony guys.
The bros.
Yeah. Who say, I don't remember which one of them says it, but says the most disgusting.
I have this written down too.
Do you want to say it since you have it written down? Because this is the worst thing I can think of to say.
Yeah. So the CEO, old man, has a new assistant, and she is smoking hot. And the bros reference her as having an available mouth.
Oh,
yes.
You ever see such an available mouth?
The 80s.
Oh,
God bless America.
I like to hashtag a lot of things.
Don't hashtag that.
I'm not hashtagging that.
Like, I'm a pretty big piece of shit, and even I wouldn't say that. That's
my God. And it's a PG fucking film, guys.
Oh, I know. God.
Is this movie PG?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. She's got an available mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you say it, it's just worse.
Yeah. Got to stop saying it. So Big Fred goes into his office. He puts his frog in the sink to hang out, and the babe swings by, and it sounds like they're kind of going through some rough water. She wants to kind of break.
Yeah.
She should. Judge Reinhold sucks.
Yeah, he does. He does suck.
He does.
But now back at school, we have little Judge, who's still a fucking tool. He's asking for Grey Poupon in the goddamn lunch line.
Yeah.
Because he's a
now I just
wiener.
imagine like, Lil Judge. Lil Judge.
Little Judge. But back at the office, we Swoozie comes in to make it to make the trade because she's figured out who has the skull. She wants it back. Right? Am I in the right place?
I think so.
Obviously, Big Fred doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, and is just not playing dumb.
Yeah. Oh, like I called you. A lot happened. Lots have happened since Friday.
Right, and she's like, "You're being a major ball breaker." And he's like, "My name's Judge. I don't know,
Lil Judge,
Lil Judge." So what? She just fucking leaves, I guess.
Yeah, she leaves, and then I don't know. I have in my notes.
Charlie orders a limo.
A limo.
Oh, that's right.
A limo. Yeah. To come get him at the junior high because he's like, "Fuck this shit, dude."
Yeah,
high school sucks.
He like demands he gets a limo and calls in. So this is where Fred Savage is going to the mall. This is my favorite scene of the movie, the rock session.
I like the rock session. Yeah.
You guys could set it up.
So Big Fred is walking through the mall. And he comes upon a guy in one of this mall's various departments just shredding on it looked like a VCR.
A very
with like a
80s guitar.
Yeah.
It's like
Very
all
80s
electronic.
guitar.
It's,
Yeah.
it's not a standard, guitar by any means. It's very electronic. I don't know what the strings are. For all of you MIDI guitarists out there, this is probably something like an early entry. I did see in the trivia that he does note that it's $7,000,
Right.
and that is the price tag of this guitar.
Yeah, it was apparently a real thing. And he says, intense, 7K, that's more than a Datsun.
Well, and you guys are musicians. So what happened to the 80s guitar? Like you have like the guitars before the 80s, and now you still have the same guitars after the 80s, but in the 80s they fucking redesigned the guitar. Like there's no, and I have no idea how a guitar works, but there's the little like wire tighteners and whatnot. Fucking that's gone.
Like the pickups, the inner workings of a guitar. Yeah, this is all electronic gimmicks.
Yeah.
And the song that they play sucks so bad. Any one of us could play any of those instruments at any point in time proficiently enough to do this. Because the guitar is like, that's it. And then, but this is my favorite scene because Judge Reinhold, who is, Big Fred, he's like, I could play guitars. He's like, get up on there. He's like, all right. And so in Judge Reinhold's body, Charlie's now playing, and the drum is just so awful. Yeah, it is that. It's
But none of these are as bad as the keyboard player.
Yeah, that keyboard line is so bad.
Yeah.
But I still love that salesman.
Yeah. But everyone in the mall fucking loves this. They're rocking.
I saw
it.
Ben.
It's a fucking concert.
I saw Ben Savage made an appearance. That was part of trivia. That if you look close enough, Ben Savage is there, running for Congress. Ben Savage
Is he?
he is.
Okay.
So he was in that scene, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might.
Wow.
Hey, dear nation, you may have seen a young congressman. I doubt it.
No, yeah, probably. He hasn't won yet, is why you're saying it that way?
He recently ran for like another local position. It was like city councilman.
Comptroller or something.
It was like city councilman of like near Hollywood or Los Angeles. And I read an article that he got under 7% of the vote. And now he's running for congressman.
He's got to just give up.
Well, I'm like, that's like a weird move for anyone. Like, I'm running for a much lower position. Not even 7% of the local people voted for me. I'm going to go for a much higher position. Like baller move. It's the
Savages, man.
Savage way.
It's a savage move.
Yeah, the savage way. Yeah, so this is also where we find out that Mr. Rayburn, I think Rayborn or Rayburn,
Is he the CEO?
who's the CEO of them all, how shitty of a manager he is, because he comes down, he's like laying into Fred Savage, or not Fred Savage, Big Fred.
Big Fred.
Yeah, Big Fred.
Yeah. He's laying into him like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. Then like this rich broad comes by, like, oh, that's my son. I spend a lot of money here. And all of a sudden, Mr. Rayburn's like, Big Fred he's the totes my goats, man.
Yeah.
And he tells the bros.
And the CEO's assistant is like, well, I've never. And that is Jane Lynch.
I was going to, I
was like,
had that
whoa.
written down.
Yeah. Like, I saw that she was on the bill, but I did not know who she was until this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't either. It took me a while to piece it together.
Jane Lynch.
Now we have another problem. Jingle Bell Moose. So apparently there is a broken stuffed animal. It's a Jingle Bell Moose. And it's now swearing at people in Polish and Russian and other languages. And so they need to figure out what to do because they sold all of these moose. How do you say this? These creeps say and dispute over the language. And we got Little Fred, little Judge. Big Fred. Sorry,
Big Fred, Little Judge.
Big Fred, who is inhabited by Charlie, is like, I'll take this job. And Sam's like, I think they're pawning it off on you. And she lets this happen, which is a real weird move because she's like, that could fire and tank my boyfriend's career. But she's like, they're pawning it off on you. He's like, I think I got it. That's my Judge Reinhold.
Bogus.
Oh, bogus journeys, yo. Where's Mo?
Well, and he makes the decision to recall all of the sold ones already.
Yeah,
which
like 100,000.
I don't think you can do that with toys.
I read, sorry,
You don't want those
backtracking.
toys back.
I read some trivia again on IMDb that Judge Reinhold went to like some school and like met kids to see how to like interact. And if this is what he pulled from it, like this Bill and Ted, like, oh, hey.
Yeah,
like, bro, was this how he was talking to the kids? Like, hey,
By kids, he meant Keanu Reeves. He studied Keanu.
hey, kids. Hey, kids, you want some candy? Hey, I'm feeling down. Candy makes me feel good. You want to see a frog? I keep it in my pocket. Can't stay away from that kid, man. He's a lunatic.
You got any martinis? Where are the babes?
Just lick the frog, man.
Hey, were you in Beverly Hills?
Lick the frog.
Do you know I was in Beverly Hills Cop? Yeah. Axel F. You know that song, playing at all the clubs, kids, you know? You order a whiskey and soda, listen to Axel F. Mom, I'm scared. They do get
Yeah, that, wow.
Come see our malls. Lovely.
He takes this shit job. And my next note is the martini drinking.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
happened.
have that too.
Okay.
He's pounding martinis.
Yeah,
but-
we're back at home and little Judge is pounding martinis.
Little Judge.
Yeah, and this is not the time that will get him in trouble, but this is why I noted before. This isn't like, this sounds like a terrible father thing to say. This isn't one drink. And I think that is quantifiable. And I'm not saying or advocating like kids should be drinking. That's one thing. This dude is, as Jeremy noted, pounding drinks. It is not just, he had a martini.
And he's not even affected by them.
No.
Right. He is in a child's body, like drinking half a bottle or more of gin or vodka. Like, solid job, bro. This is what kids like? Hey. Hey, what's your top shelf? What's your top shelf? You like Beefeater, kid? Putting Beefeater? You like shaking straight? I don't know.
And that's little Judge. He's an alcoholic.
He
It's
is.
okay, though.
Well, I think
He's got a stressful job.
he does. Yeah. Well, and school sucks. I mean, if I could have drank during school, I would have.
And personally, I endorse Hendrix. You kids like Hendrix?
Yeah.
Hendrix, Is that your top shelf, kid? Hendrix? A little cucumber? Piques my curiosity.
I don't want it with the cucumber.
It's infused naturally.
No, I know, but I gotta have my martinis dirty as fuck.
That's fine.
Gotta have that olive in the brine.
'Tis the season.
Dirty season.
I guess.
Okay.
I'm scared.
We're all scared. Here, hold the skull with me.
Get me out of his body.
Next, there's like a weird montage of adulting, like shaving. The faces, not anything else. Putting on a tie poorly. I don't know.
So all this actually happened before the moose scene.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it did. But it.
Oh yeah.
Regardless.
No, okay. I'm seeing it now. Oh, because they're. And all of this is pretty inconsequential. It's like they're just it's a montage, right? Some bullies are like bullying some girl, and he kind of steps in and saves it, hooks it up a little bit, and the girl is pretty enamored with this, writes him a love note that says "I love you," and it falls on the floor, and the teacher thinks that little Judge wrote the note for her, the teacher, which will come back later.
I've only seen this teacher in Mama's Family. So for all of you Mama's Family fans out there, that's
Is
the
that
only
her?
place. That is like one of the daughters in Mama's Family.
I don't know what that is.
That's right. You don't.
But yeah, so now we're back in the department store with the Mises thing, and this is where there's apparently the fucking James Bond department in this mall, because someone is demonstrating a briefcase with knives that come out of the side.
Yeah,
you can just buy it.
You can put a poison capsule in there too.
Yeah,
to gas them.
Like a toxin of your choice.
Yeah, whatever toxin you prefer.
I feel hopefully that in retirement, that's where I work like once a week. Like if my job is to just be like, these are the toxins on sale, and I could definitely special order these for you. I would love every moment.
They're just like essential oils. They're in little jars. Like, what kind of poison or toxin do you prefer? We have a few, depending on your needs. It's like a kiosk at the airport. It's like the Bose store, and then and then the spy briefcase place.
I like that it's at the airport. Like, hey, at your destination, it'll be ready for you. Just pick it up.
You can't get this through
Carousel
security,
3.
but you can buy it here. It's duty free, obviously.
Yeah, it'll be at Carousel 3. Don't worry.
Yeah. And what's his name? Turk. He's peering in. He's
Oh,
spying,
yeah. I
he's
keep
watching,
forgetting that
he's
guy.
making sure.
He's trying to figure shit out and get his thing back.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, Mike, that you say you forgot about that guy. This movie kind of forgets about that couple. Like, Swoozie is kind of a big name.
They just swoop in periodically.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Right. Like the main plot of this movie, which is these two thugs trying to get this thing back, happens maybe twice.
It does.
Yeah, but it doesn't fucking matter. The next thing that I have written down, I don't know if I'm jumping around here, is Big Fred busting into the school to rough up the bullies. Calhoun High School Patrol.
Yeah, I have that written down too. Calhoun High School Patrol.
So the bullies that have been giving Fred Savage's character problems and that just bullied him again for sticking up for that girl, they're smoking in the bathroom. And first and foremost, I'm like, damn, what are you doing? I thought about this because Jeremy and I went to junior high together.
Yeah, you're not getting away with that shit, dude.
Yeah, like, okay, one, maybe a kid could get away with it. And I don't say get away. They could be in the bathroom for 20 minutes. Maybe they're having some problems. They have a note, one kid. But like 3 or 4 kids are routinely hanging out in the bathroom smoking a cigarette during class. Hell no. There's no way. There's no doubt in my mind that person would be caught by not if by day 1, by day 2 minimum in any school that Jeremy and I went to.
Yeah.
There's no way. At Jeremy and I's high school, they locked it down. They were like, you are not leaving for lunch. The parking lot is closed. Game over. The end.
Yeah, that's when you send in the judge.
Yeah.
Were you able to go out and about in high school?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were not.
No.
So I had like a study hall class, and the study hall teacher was this weird old guy who had gotten too many DUIs and couldn't drive. So I wasn't supposed to be able to leave during study hall because I didn't have a high enough grade. Like if you were like a B student or whatever, an A student, you could, but I wasn't because I was kind of a dummy. But he would just give me like money and send me off to go buy him cigarettes at the convenience store up the street, which I wasn't old enough to do, but it was Maine, so no one gave a shit. So I went to the Maritime Farms convenience store, and I got myself a slice of pizza and some cigarettes for the study hall teacher. My school didn't give a fuck.
Did anyone question you when you got cigarettes?
No.
Love it.
No, this was Maine in the mid '90s. No one cared. And Maine in the mid '90s was like most of the world in the '70s. We're a little behind still.
Yeah, I'm really unpacking a lot of that in my mind right now. That's one's silent.
Well, because he knew I wasn't going to do any studying because I was a moron, and he knew I wasn't allowed to leave because I was a moron. So he's like, "You don't want to be here, and I need cigarettes, so we can work a deal out here."
It was the barter system that keeps on giving.
Yeah, it worked out well. I got my slice of pizza, and he got his cigarettes, and I got to walk around.
It's great because, Mike, you have noted we have certain international listeners when you look at some of the analytics, and thanks again, everyone, for listening. But these are the stories that are highlighting, public school systems in America. America number one.
Mm-hmm. America number one in high school cigarette chores.
You don't need to study. You don't need to learn anything. You're doing it.
You are doing it.
You're learning the streets. You're learning. It's not all in the books. Sometimes we're going off script, and that's the American public school system way.
So just to give you an international. So pause for a quick Rabbit Troop Sucks international update. Japan is always going to be number 2 because I know personally a couple people in Japan who are listeners. New to the list, we have some listeners in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah.
Govina, I can't say words.
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah, obviously. And the UK, we haven't had a lot of UK listens, but they're popping off this month. So welcome to the troop. I'm sorry I mispronounced your country.
I would love to hear the story of how word of mouth got to Bosnia.
Well,
You know?
Yeah.
so I did on a previous episode plug a friend of mine who is publishing a graphic novel. He's from Bosnia, so maybe there's a connection there. Maybe
There it is.
maybe it's all syncing up. That's exciting.
And the UK listeners, I'm not surprised because routinely Mike has badmouthed them, and I've said they're gonna love this in the UK.
I do from time to time. Yeah, so they're just hate listening, I guess.
I think that maybe they're peering in on you. They're like,
Yeah.
what's the what does this guy have to say? Coming in with his balls all shiny.
I like your country. I like your cars. I think I would probably rather live there than here.
Is it garlic naan?
The monarchy is stupid. But anyway, let's get back to this movie.
Crash and burn.
Yeah, before they come for me. Where the fuck?
Yeah,
are
so
we?
he's making him clean the toilets.
Yeah, he's making him clean
with,
the
like,
toilets.
yeah, he's like, yeah, these toilets better be spick and span. And he's got a meeting with the teacher, with Jane. What the hell is her name? Jane Luttrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she is under the impression that Charlie might be preoccupied. She once thought just for other reasons, but it's probably because of the crush that he has on her. And Charlie, since he's in Judge Reinhold's body, immediately blurts out, "Gross!
Ew. You're not a babe.
You're not tubular whatsoever. What's the opposite of tubular?
Rick,
You never know. Big
Rectangular."
Fred. Big Fred could have a MILF fetish. You never know.
that's true. He could. You never know. Yeah.
I mean, let's go real world. I bet that is very probable of Judge Reinhold right now. Real time.
He's down there in Santa Fe, like just slinging game.
You into turquoise necklaces? No, I think it would be like this. You know, woman at bar, she's ordering a drink. He walks up. Bro, you into turquoise necklaces? And vice versa.
My name's Judge.
You like Bev Cop? Bev Cop?
Babes, you into B cops?
You like Bev Cop 3? There might be Bev Cop 4 on the rumor mill.
What was his name? Rosenberg?
And Beverly Hills Cop?
Billy something.
Billy-
Billy Rosenberg.
Yeah, but no, it was Rosen something. Yeah. Okay.
Bro.
Yeah, best role of his career. It's a shame.
Absolutely.
It's a great role though.
Bro, the only thing that can improve your face is my turquoise necklace.
Is he like unwell and that's how he gives a pearl necklace? It's just
Oh, no. Okay. Rabbit Troop sucks. No.
All right, we're going into hockey practice now.
I don't know why it's blue, babes.
Oh, no.
Hockey practice. Yeah.
It's mayhem.
It's just-
That's
It
like
is.
mayhem.
Yeah.
I have my note says shit coach.
Oh yeah,
It's
that
a
coach was a
shit
fucking
coach.
chode.
I have body swap mayhem Rax coach.
Yeah, Rax the coach.
Yeah, and isn't Judge Reinhold the actor? Isn't he like, oh, no, or so, doesn't he say something like that?
Well, because
He's like, oh, you're
Yeah.
such a spaz, Dad.
well, yeah, because
Rotato.
little Judge doesn't know how to fucking ice skate, and he ends up just racking the coach in the dick with his hockey stick. I think that's where he's like,
Yeah.
oh, right in the plums, bro.
Good thing I'm on ice.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he racks the coach and then it's back to drinking martinis,
Yeah,
guys.
it's more
Fuck yeah.
more martinis.
This leads to the martini trouble, yes.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Oh no, it doesn't.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not yet.
See, again,
Yeah.
more martinis.
Yeah, there are like
Oh, yeah,
several child drinking
he's
martini
plied up.
scenes. Yeah.
Again, like you could
Yeah.
almost made it comical. Like again, I'm not trying to point out like get your kid drunk, but if it was, I made a martini because I forgot I was in my body, and he was like, I can't drink this, ha ha ha. But I had some. This dude is getting hammered in a child's body.
Well,
He is
yeah.
like doing damage to a child's body.
They
His
never
child's body.
make a joke out of it. It's just
No,
there. It's
and-
like a thing that's happening and we're all just fine with
This
it.
movie would have been 100% better if Fred Savage had like acted like he was just wasted
Oh.
every time he had a martini.
Well, I thought they were trying to set that up. But it was like
No, he never does.
martini. They just never played on it.
Yeah. So now let's take a real nutritional note. Judge Reinhold's body is now consumed with a child. So Judge Reinhold was on a steady diet of martinis, so gin and vodka apparently, and God knows what else. And now Charlie is inhabiting his body. He's probably drinking like milkshakes and eating cheeseburgers. I can't imagine the shit-splosion that would become that guy's life of just like every day is a bottle of hooch. Now this guy's like mainlining milkshakes in me. Oh my God, he would die.
Well, and he also apparently had a Valium addiction. So like, there's
he was on
no
Valium
way
too.
his butthole is coming out of this okay.
I mean, just standard 80s right there. Valium and alcohol.
Right.
Oh my God.
Man, I was born in the wrong.
His cholesterol is way high. His Valium is destroying his kidneys and other things amongst the alcohol. This guy's top tier. This guy's living Dr. House lifestyle with milkshakes.
Man, where do you get Valium anymore?
Probably just online.
Okay.
Wasn't in what's the Christmas movie we like The Night Before?
Yeah.
Wasn't like didn't the wife to Seth Rogen? Well, didn't she's like, oh, I got you an array of drugs. They just came like, where did you get?
Use a Craigslist.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, just
there is no doubt in my mind there is someone in Denver's Craigslist tonight that would probably be like, sure, like I will come to your house.
For you.
They'll bring it here. I'll give them your address.
Like you were giving me cash or Venmoing me on your steps, but I will bring this to you. Like there is no doubt that transaction could happen now.
What a world.
We did it.
If we just walk out the Spear and hold up a sign that says Valium, and we'll get it.
The Rabbit Troop Sucks prescription Valium delivery episode. That's coming.
Wait, Jeremy, you were noting to Mike too. You are drinking currently a Colorado beer. What is the beer you are drinking?
All of my beers in my fridge, except for Miller Lite, are from Colorado. I have Left Hand Brewery and New Belgium Brewery, which is out of Fort Collins. So shout out to those guys. I hope they have some listeners there.
Right. You should totally sponsor us, both of you, and give us all this beer. We're not even looking for hard cash. Like clearly, Jeremy, our guest, is drinking it. You know what he would like? Free beer.
Yeah.
Just drink it.
Beer.
Exactly, guys.
He's like, I'm currently drinking the beer you sent me, and I love it because I love it.
Yeah. I've pivoted to some 90s shilling as well. So Colorado beers all around.
Boom. I'm drinking Topo Chico from Mexico, which you could gladly sponsor us.
Yeah.
Boom. Enchanted Waters, my friend. Enchanted Waters. Where are we in this crazy movie called Vice Versa?
The babysitter's coming over, and she's going to watch... God damn it. I keep getting these characters confused. She's going to watch Little Judge while Big Fred takes out Sam. And, they're going to a concert.
They're going to Malice.
Yeah.
This is...
the 11-year-old scalper fucking pulled through, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, they're going to this. Well, no, they're not initially going to this concert. Sam wants to break up. She's kind of over it. She's like, we don't have time. Two ships crossing. She's just so nice. But she notes that this is really over, and Judge Reinhold's body, but Charlie inhabiting it. It's like, no. It's like not really getting it. It's like, let's just go to a concert. And she's like, she thinks it's some classical.
You get Brahms tickets?
Yeah. And it's like, no. And then it's Malice. And then they have this rocking out time. This is where I note Sam is super cool the whole time. She's just super stoked to be at a rock show. She's looking at him with admiration, like you're having fun. They get an autograph because Judge Reinhold stands like a lurking goon on the stage, and then security takes him off. But he does hug the lead singer and gets an autograph for Charlie. She's very impressed by this. But she just seems super cool. Why the hell is she with this dude?
She's my favorite character. She's attractive and super cool, super sweet.
Yeah.
I wish her the best.
Yeah, she's going to be okay.
How you doing, Sam? Sam, if you want to write in, if you want to contact Rabbit Troop Sucks, we're here to listen to you. Dial in. Jeremy wants to say hey. We're totally in support of all of you. You did it, Sam.
Yeah.
And this concert, I had in my notes 80s as fuck.
Oh, it was so 80s. It was the most 80s.
Yeah. Well, I do want to note that Sam is in also Police Academy 4 and the TV show The Flash from 91.
Ooh, I bet that was really good.
I almost have a vague memory of Jeremy and I talking about this before we went into like earth science.
Okay.
So boom, that thought floated out of my head.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
We're probably like, hey bro, you guys
watch The Flash?
Did you watch The Flash last night? Oh, that was killer, bro. Bumpkin.
It's got that babe from Vice Versa.
It was bum ticking.
Is that Missouri slang that I'm not familiar with?
You don't want to.
It's possible.
You don't want to
okay.
Google it.
No.
You want to Google it.
I'm never going to Google it. Hashtag.
No.
No.
I don't want the lawsuits that ensue.
But yeah, so little Judge is jealous
Oh yeah.
about all this. Wait, little Judge is jealous. But he got the
Yeah.
autograph, so that's pretty cool. But this kind of spurs,
I feel sick.
yeah.
That's what happens when he gets him. I feel
And
sick.
Sam is like, she wants to bone now. She wants to bone
Sam is
Big Fred,
yeah,
who is, she wants to bone the 11-year-old, essentially.
right. She is hot and ready.
Yeah, this is one of those uncomfortable big moments again, where it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Well, they didn't take it all the way.
Exactly.
But I feel that Judge Reinhold was like cool with wherever it went. He kind of later alludes to that. Like the character of Marshall is like, yeah, well, it's cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're going to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is kind of where they decide that maybe it's time to sort this shit out. And so two things kind of happen simultaneously. They go to talk to some guy at a museum who might know what's up.
I like that guy. Shout out to my friend Gabe for that guy.
So this was Spider-Man's landlord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So this guy, like fucking Big Trouble in Little China Asian man, has fucking been in everything, dude.
Correct.
If you look at this guy's, he has been in everything. Like at least 150 things.
Yeah.
Like if you look at his IMDb page, it's crazy.
Yeah. If you need like a doofy Russian guy, he's who you call.
A doofy Russian guy. Exactly.
I feel more inclined to pick that guy's voice out of a lineup rather than his face. But as soon as he talks, I know what he looks like. I hope that is the last voice I hear on Earth as he kills me. Seems very soothing. He just seems like he would care about you and be like, of course I'll get you a pillow. Oh, you're dead.
Yeah, you're done though.
I'm like, oh, thanks. Thanks, friend.
And so while they're talking to this guy, what's his Durko? What's the bad guy?
Turk.
And Falco and
Rock Me
Swoozie
Amadeus
are breaking into the apartment trying to find the skull.
I like Turk cleans up.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you doing? I don't want them to know that we were here. And she's like, you never clean up at home.
He's a courteous smuggler.
And they let her know, like, wow, the apartment's really clean.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, there's a lot of things that are in different places than when we left.
Yeah, Judge Reinhold literally is like, oh, the cleaning person must have been here today because it's really clean.
Yeah. Well, it's nice.
But Fred Savage, like that night, I think we're going in and out of timelines.
Yeah.
Fred Savage got his first kiss from his now soon-to-be stepmom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That did happen.
It's fantastic.
Oh, spoilers.
And it's probably his first boner, too.
Well, probably not.
No.
I don't know.
Okay. Sure.
Come on, bro.
Is this now the third martini where Malcolm McDowell's mom catches him?
Well, we did
pounding martinis again.
Yeah.
We did note that the skull goes to a professor. The professor keeps the skull. Kind of weirdly, like, let me hold on to this.
Well, he's the professor, the Russian guy, and he's going to send the skull to a llama.
Yeah.
Which I thought there was only one llama. Apparently, there's more. I don't know.
There's a few. I don't know.
Oh,
there's some comments.
There's an array of llamas.
Yeah.
A baker's dozen of llamas.
So he's sending that. So they don't have the skull. They cleaned up their apartment. Free clean job, guys.
Yeah.
That's worth it, and that's the whole movie right there. And then he's pounding martinis. Little Judge answers the door, and boom, it's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mom instantly flips out.
Yeah, she's not happy.
No.
Mom knows it's dad who's turned you this way. Like that's the relationship. That was like basically a quote. Mom knows it's dad who turned you into a foul-mouthed alcoholic. That's what she says.
Yeah, aka like a cool guy.
Wow.
But yeah, so now little Judge is no longer in the sweet apartment, so they can't collab on their plans anymore.
Yeah.
And this kind of flummoxes them a little bit. But no.
So, well,
Okay.
now we're leading up to a board meeting, and Fred Savage basically gets kidnapped by Judge Reinhold. And you think at first it's Swoozie and Turk.
Swoozie and
That's
Turk,
what you're thinking.
They're trying to kidnap him.
Yeah. And the camera angle shows it like Fred Savage is
Yeah.
taken, and you think it's them, but it's boom, Judge Reinhold's body. And they're off to a board meeting. Like, we've got to do this. We've got to do this job.
Right.
And we're back at the spy warehouse.
Yeah, they go to the spy
department.
store for some spy headwear, microphone, earpiece thing.
Again, the most fantastic mall ever, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, crossbows, spy equipment. Jesus. I mean, who wants there's no other wants.
No, that's all you need, really.
Yeah. And so during this board meeting, we have the goons times 3, basically shooting all these ideas down, snickering in the corner. This guy Marshall's going to lose it. We're going to take his job, whatever. And Marshall comes in and delivers this idea. We need to invest all this money. And the CEO is the CEO is hesitant. And Marshall says, we could have spent more money. And you're hearing all these directions from Marshall, Fred Savage's body, remotely through the spyware, now radio in through glasses that Judge Reinhold's body, which is Charlie, wearing and delivering this speech. So you kind of get the confusion and the weird hiccups and so on. And so there's a bit of confusion, but he's really selling it. And the CEO is like, well, I don't know, we could lose a lot of money. He's like, I'm telling you, we're going to make a lot of money. Then flies off the effing handle. And I know he says this a bunch of times, and I don't even know how to highlight this. He's like, well, you know what? I've been working my job and my ass off. And, I've been putting in long hours. And really now this is where you see the empathy that you guys noted before. Jeremy, you noted early on, this is a movie about empathy, like learning and feeling for others.
And we missed a huge part, though, because Fred Savage is in the mall in some like fucking back room with like crates and shit and like hay, and he gets fucking kidnapped.
Oh yeah, for real.
While he's talking to fucking big Fred.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm totally confused on these fucking.
Yeah, no, it's rough. But yeah, so that's why he goes off
gets
on
kidnapped.
this thing.
And so he is now kidnapped for real by Swoozie and Turk. And so this is where Judge goes off the handle. So he's kind of improvising. He's like, I work with these long hours. I work on the weekends. I travel. I don't even get to see my kid. And he's like, damn, now I understand who my dad is. But then he starts calling everyone a yin yang. And I don't know how to feel about that. He's like, you're treating me like a yin yang. And these yin yangs over here. And if you want a yin yang, hire a yin yang. And I'm like, I feel very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
know what he was saying.
I don't even know what's happening.
No one does.
Well, he's like, at the end, he's like, fuck it, I gotta go save my dad. If you want to fucking give my job to the bros, go for it, old man. I don't give a fuck. I'm out of here. And he takes off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, well, yes, it was the next order of action to get the skull.
Yeah. He goes, so I don't really remember why he knows to go here.
He does talk to the professor.
He talks to the
He's like,
professor.
I need to get it back. He's like, well, this is where I brought it to.
Well, and he brought it to an old Asian man who's sitting in a greenhouse in the middle of a warehouse.
Yeah, in the middle of like a warehouse.
Yeah.
I thought it was
like a fucking. I have it in here. A hermetically sealed room that has a jungle within it.
Yeah, I thought it was in a Matrix moment.
Yeah, it was really weird. But so he just goes in there and he's like, "Hey, can I have this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't fucking want it."
Yeah,
whatever.
And he tells them the wisdom of what these idiots need to do.
Right.
And it's, you each need to touch the skull while you say it.
Remember how you got in this mess? Do that again, you fucking dopes.
Like, you guys are stupid.
Yeah, like, are you fucking American morons? Jesus Christ. Yeah. My notes are spotty now.
There's at a point in time, there's still a cop car or motorcycle.
Well, no. So little Judge is in a fucking room somewhere with Turk, and he's like, "Hey, I may be a kid, but I'm like this guy trapped in a kid's body, and I know that you were in Thailand. I know you did this, and this." And Turk's starting to be like, "Holy shit, dude!
He's like,
is
you
this
took a
real?"
picture of me. Like,
yeah,
I remember all this. Yeah, and he's into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like starting to be like, "Oh shit, man! There's some magical properties to this skull." He tries to convince, and in my notes I call her Red Tina because she has super red hair and her name's Tina.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's trying to convince Red Tina that this is not all. This is weird, and yeah, then shit gets nuts because they steal like police vehicles, like it's crazy.
Yeah, they're like, hey, someone needs help over here. And the guy's like, hey, buddy. And it's like, how about on a downtown Chicago police motorcycle?
Yeah.
And
The trike.
yeah,
The trike.
And then a police chase ensues where other cop cars are like, what the hell's going on here? So
Yeah.
don't worry about that.
Yeah, when the other cops see that the two characters are riding off on this bike, he's like, yeah, there's like, they stole our bike. There's a midget on a cop bike. Like, a midget, it's a fucking child. Are you an idiot? But yeah, they're
true.
They're running away on the bike, and
they do a good job. They evade the police.
Shout out to the Blue Line in Chicago. Everyone's in and out of the L system.
I don't know what that means.
It's the elevated system. It's
The L, the train.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so at this point, Turk and Swoozy have the skull. How did they get it?
So what happened is they took the cop motorcycle because the one said, I know where their next station is. We need to go to this train. We're going to do a swap or something like that.
Well, they did a swap.
They
did like the swap, the kidnapping negotiation.
Okay.
Where Big Fred comes up with the skull that he got from the old Asian man, and Turk and Red Tina have little Judge, and they like push him out of the L train, grab the skull, the door closes, and then all of a sudden, like an impromptu, like little Judge is like, fucking, I got my plan. Let's steal this fucking cop trike, and we're gonna go fucking chase these guys down because I saw their tickets. I know where they're going.
That's right.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, totally.
But at this point, because Turk and Swoozy have the skull, they switch because they're also fucking stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
Then they take the skull and run away.
Yeah.
And then
they take the skull. They switch, and Fred. Anyway, the son and the dad, they come up and they know where they're going, so they like break. I don't know. They break into their room. They see their switch. They're like, "Sucks to be you, dickheads." And they take the skull. They're like, "We'll see you." Yeah, they take the skull. They're like, "We'll see you." And now they have the skull, and these two idiots are fucking man and woman switch places, and then they get arrested by the cops.
Yeah, and that's basically
rightfully so.
Yeah, and that's basically how their story ends.
Yeah, they're never getting back.
So what's crazy is they drop Charlie off. They drop Charlie's body off, and he has to go back home. And Judge Reinhold is, body, I should say, which is Charlie inhabiting it, is with Sam. And they're like, we need to like go hang out and stuff. Like, why didn't they switch bodies immediately? They know how to do it. So they waited.
No, it's because he got arrested.
Oh shit! I totally forgot. Duh.
And then that's where you find out that the stepdad, whatever the hell his name is
super cool.
Freaking police detective. Yeah.
And he like gets him out.
He's
on
like, "You're fine."
thing.
Yeah, it's like we dropped this down to just seven accounts. Like I talked to people, it's cool. Like you're just out on your own recognizance. Like
don't worry about it.
That's how they do it. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. So then, then they're separated. So then Sam and Fred,
Big Fred,
they go to sneak into Charlie's house.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta sneak in and give him a present. And Sam is very supportive, and inadvertently, Big Fred proposes to Sam. And that's where we're at. A child is now proposed to a grown-ass woman, and she is accepted.
Yeah. Oh, she says yes.
Yes. Mike was very excited about that. He went, squee.
I'm doing it still.
Yeah, then he climbs up the lattice work, gets out of the car, climbs up the lattice work, sneaks into the window, and then the dad and the son get naked, and they decide, like, we're going to switch bodies because fucking clothes are expensive, guys.
Super uncomfortable.
We got to take off your clothes. You're going to rip my pajamas.
Well, and so one of the notes I had in the beginning when they switched places for the first time was like the fucking Hulk, ripping out of his clothing, like David Banner coming turning into the Hulk, and so they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna get naked now. So let's take off our clothes and we'll switch back, and then we can, we'll put our normal clothes back on, and we can go from there."
They were really setting up the mother to walk in to see this, but that never happened.
Yeah. She
No.
keeps waking up. Is she not going to say no?
No.
So they part ways. They've learned about each other. Everything's great. And here's a fun setup. Charlie is now back in his body. Marshall's back in his body. And Charlie never says one damn thing about that proposal.
No.
He's like, bye, Dad.
No.
Bye.
Yeah, he's like, "Have a good time."
But
My
yes,
favorite part of this movie was the fucking smile by Charlie at the end when the credits are rolling. Like he's got like that grin,
He knows
like
what he's
looking
done.
out the window as they drive away, like, "Gotcha, bitch,"
yes.
So Marshall gets back in the car and through some buffoonery figures out that, yes, he has proposed. And he's like, oh.
Well, yeah, that's
He's
because the babe is like, "Did you tell him that I said yes?"
yes, what?
Yeah, babe, what? But
oh.
he's not a fucking moron anymore, so he figures it out.
Yeah, and then there's a little bit of that spy equipment still left on the dashboard of the car. And then, as Jeremy was noting, we get a nice pan up to Charlie in his window, home aloneing around in a big old Cheshire grin of a gotcha, bitch.
And it's like, and it extends like a good 20 seconds into the credits rolling up,
Yes.
just like that. Like, remember the smile of that old man on Cliffhanger with fucking Sylvester Stallone?
Yes.
Yes.
Where they're, do you remember that smile
Yes,
that
when
old
she
man had in the fucking helicopter?
We watched that.
That was the smile
we
that
watched
he
that in
had.
sleepovers, Jeremy. Yeah, where that person fell, and then we just freeze frame that person's like this.
Yeah, that old man smile. That's where they took that from. I guarantee it.
There's also this side throwaway comment. It's like, oh yeah, that skull. I said next time I'm in Thailand, I'll find out where it belongs. I'm like, they're gonna.
Yeah,
kill
whatever
you.
happened to the skull?
He said that. Like, he literally
No
said,
one
like,
knows.
I'm gonna bring it back one day. I'm like, one, good luck bringing that into the country. Two, they're gonna totally kill you. like thanks for the skull, kill him. And I enjoyed your ginger pot, which I've never called anything a ginger pot in my life. And don't Google that. That's not.
Never do that.
So before we get into a big old synopsis and how we feel and all this, as always, thanks for listening. Please, if you ever need to get in touch with us or have some movies to recommend or desperately want to give us those 5 stars that you've always wanted to give us in a lot of these apps, tell us about these things. Reach out to us at rabbittroopsuckspodcast
there it
at
is.
gmail.com or reach us proper at rabbittroopsucks.com. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere you listen to podcasts, that's where you could recommend us. So that's where we're at. Please keep recommending any films, and we love hearing from you. So
We do.
yeah, how did everyone like Vice Versa? Whoa, yeah, there's that face. Is that from just watching it at my house?
Yes, it is. I keep this with me always.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. That's right.
So, I mean, the movie wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was a little bland, and the ending, I feel, was very rushed to get to like a conclusion. But I mean, yeah, it had a good lesson. I don't think kids understand what parents go through. I don't think parents understand what kids go through, and that was the whole purpose of this movie.
For me, I've seen this movie many, many times, probably like at least a dozen times in my life and throughout. I very much as a kid liked the Fred Savage trading up to a grown up and like that mayhem of, oh my God, like very big oriented. But now watching it more as an adult, my synopsis is Judge Reinhold plays an asshole. I don't know why anyone likes that character. Holy crap. But overall, I still like this movie in certain ways. Definitely the apartment rock scene. Definitely love it. Aerial shots of Chicago. Love that as well.
Yeah, this was the first time I'd seen it. I thought it was fun. Except, taking Big out of the equation. This, I think, holds up with the other body swap movies. Judge Reinhold has to be an asshole because if he wasn't, there'd be nothing to resolve.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I get it. I had fun with it. It wasn't amazing, but I don't think it's any worse than like Dream a Little Dream is probably the most recent one that I've seen.
And no Freaky Fridays for you?
Oh, well, I guess, I mean, the most recent one I've seen is Freaky.
With Lindsay Lohan?
No. The one with the new one.
Oh, with oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name from Swingers.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn,
and he's
thank
a
you.
serial-
Fantastic. I love that movie.
No, that movie was
I love
great.
that movie.
That movie was
fun.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most recent one I've seen. Freaky Friday's fine, I guess. I don't think Freaky Friday was really any better than this, I guess. Maybe I don't remember it enough, but I don't know. I liked it.
With a Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis movie I watched maybe 2 years ago. I don't think I've seen it up until that point. I thoroughly enjoyed it as a family film.
Mm-hmm.
Freaky with Vince Vaughn I thought was awesome. That was
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did it.
Yeah.
We vice versa'd,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, we're back
got,
where we were at the beginning.
we got through it together. We learned a little
Says
about ourselves.
I'm a little bit drunker.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's the magic.
And that
is
is
the magic.
where you become wiser and maybe forget why did I become wise? That's why we record this.
Right.
So you could go back and listen. Like, how did I find enlightenment through this film and booze?
Yeah, I'm as drunk as little Judge should have been.
Yeah, the drinking in that movie is just off the hook. Like I don't know what to say about any of that. That's super weird. That's a really weird decision everyone made. Again, as Mike noted, none of it's comical.
Yeah. He's just drinking the martini. They never made a joke out of it, which was amazing to me.
Yeah.
Well, and at one point in time, they had Big Fred, little Judge had Big Fred make him the martini.
Well, that's when the mother walks in, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes these things happen.
You know, and it does.
Great family dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeremy, any parting words? Clearly, we'll talk off air off this, but any parting words that you want to say or anything that you want to add for this film? Again, thanks for joining us. Yeah.
No, this was it was super fun. I love watching obscure movies, and when I knew that you guys had this, I started listening to all the podcasts. The only one I have not listened to yet is so I listened to King Solomon, the one you guys had posted last week, or actually this week.
Yesterday.
I listened to that while I was like cleaning windows and vacuuming the house, and I was like, I remember that movie, and it was so fun. And but the only one I haven't listened to with you guys yet is the one where the white guy and the Asian guy are horrible ninjas, but they learn to become better ninjas and they start kicking ass. I want to listen to that because I watched that movie.
Ninja Busters is great,
I watched that movie on Tubi and I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking bad. Like, I can't wait to hear what they say about that one.
I cannot recommend watching Ninja Busters and listening to our podcast episode of Ninja Busters enough to everyone listening.
Yeah. But this was so fun. I mean, it's great to talk about like movies. I mean, we're not watching mainstream film here, so it's always great to watch movies that nobody really knows about, and then you talk about them. You see how funny like interpreting these movies can be. And it's incredible, and I appreciate you guys letting me on the show. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, I've alluded to before that my early entry to a lot of movies and a lot of movie companies that, you know, and I say kind of play riffs on this, and I mean that in a loving way, that these are not mainstream movies, but there's a lot of creativity, and where did I start watching them? And I've noted before, I was like, my friends and I would have sleepovers and just, you know, based on the covers of these weirdo films, and that was me and Jeremy. It was like me, Jeremy, and two of our friends. We literally would just have sleepovers, rent like 4 or 5 really weird schlocky films, or just like notable comedies, like throw that in the mix. Stay up all night, like eat junk food, watch those movies, make fun of them, but really analyze them. As we said before, like we're not clowning on all these movies. Like there's a lot of gems, and honestly, even though Vice Versa has been done, and holy God, like the storyline's apparently over 100 years ago. Damn, they burned that person as a heretic. But like at least these are creative things. Again, you know, they're not just a sequel, a remake, a reboot. There's a lot going on here, and there's a total boom. The 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. There was just so much coming out that like I just feel we're gonna be analyzing these things for decades. Like not just us, but like other people. Like like you go on, as Jeremy said, like I watched that on Tubi. Like, oh my God, there's so many movies. I'm like, I've never even heard of this, and I think I know a lot of these films. Like, oh my God.
Oh, it's very unique in what you guys do. It really is, because most people aren't talking about the movies that you guys review, that we talk about here on this show, and they should be. I mean, people should see some of these movies because, oh my God, the amount of writers that are out there, it's got to be insane.
Oh yeah,
to come up with some of the stuff that people come up with. And to analyze it and talk about it, it's pretty cool, and especially if people have never heard of this stuff, and we can add some enjoyment to their life, you know.
Hell yeah,
that's the dream. Do we know what we're doing next?
Yeah, Jeremy, we were going to ask you your schedule. Do you want to do a podcast again with us in the future, and do you have an open schedule?
I have as open of a schedule as I possibly can. You tell me what movies you want to review. I'll always try to make it work if I can, especially if it's on like a Saturday night. I mean, at 9:30 p.m. That's perfect for me.
Well,
do you want to take a gap in this, or do you want to commit to next week as well?
What is happening? So I'm on my work computer, so I can actually see into next week.
Like we're having real-time board meetings of Rabbit Troop Sucks. Welcome to Rabbit Troop Sucks. There's mints to the left. There's leftover Easter candy. Help yourself.
I can't do it next week. I have a trivia night for our elementary school.
Okay, so maybe the week after. I have an idea for us. Do you want to?
Well, it wouldn't be the week after too, because I'm going to be in a fucking mansion in the Ocean Keys, in the Florida Keys, and the Ocean Reef Club.
That sounds amazing.
I have a buddy
does sound amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have a buddy whose parents or his grandparents used to own the Cleveland Indians, the Jacobs. But they have a property down there. We're going to be down there from like Friday the 28th through Tuesday, May something or whatnot. And then I'm going to be in Wisconsin on Saturday, the May 6th. So the 13th is probably the soonest I could join you guys.
I'll write all these things down.
Okay.
Well, we're not going to jump that far ahead, but I
yeah.
do have some movie ideas going forward. But yeah, we'll tentatively have that we'll have a placeholder that our next recording will be sometime in May with Jeremy.
Okay.
We'll talk off air, but as always, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. Mike, as always, thanks for being here. I hope everyone enjoyed this.
Do we have a backup for next week?
Oh, wait, we do have a movie. Mike and I that will be watching.
Oh, yeah. What's this movie?
Mike and I will be watching Never Too Young to Die with our very own Uncle Jesse. And I don't know why I said our very own, but John Stamos. Yeah, little John Stamos and Gene Simmons as the villain. Never too.
Oh my God! What the hell movie is this?
Well, you'll have to find out.
Yeah, you're never too young to die. And in your travels, Jeremy, make that one of the movies you listen to. If you have a long flight, you should be like, I'm going to download this movie through an app, and I'm going to listen to the Rabbit Troop Sucks download on an app. But as always, Jeremy, thanks for joining us. Mike, thanks for being here. Listeners, thanks for joining us. As always, Rabbit Troop Sucks.